Tonight we party, my friends.
Sip on mezcal, I like tequila, damn this shit tasty. Kid you not, I made about $1 million off a pink beanie. I feel like my life is a movie, damn this too easy. Can't catch me, I'm jumping the borders, hit the embassy, it's bag or die. 7 gold chains on me, call me Slick Rick. Just made an album, 7 days, that's quick. Boobies going up and down, she's fit. Hold up, wait, rewind that shit. Got uncut gems, Adam Sandler clip. She a vegan, she got a thigh gap. Yeah, my BO smell good, it smell like lilac. My team eating, I'm a cash rat, always do a buyback. Down payment on the home metropolis. I'm a healthy serial monogamous. She a turkey on my dick, she
On an ordinary evening in 2010, most people, including myself, would probably have been doing ordinary things that a normal person would do. Whether that be eating dinner, watching an episode to your favorite Netflix show, forgetting to lock the bathroom door when you're taking a poop, or just some random but normal activity that anyone would be doing in the evening. That is what most Colorado Springs citizens would have been doing during any day in 2010. However, not for one person. One day in the evening of 2010, inside of a mental corrections facility, a member of staff was checking up on each of the patients that were in their cells to see how they were doing. You know, standard prison/mental facility guard duty. When the member of staff checked up on one patient's cell, their jaws would drop, and their body temperature would drop 40% in just 3 seconds. Inside that cell, 49-year-old Edward F. Benge was knocked unconscious. He was lying down on the floor, still, not breathing, not moving. He was most likely dead, and well, as it would turn out, that would be correct. When he was found in his cell, he was obviously immediately rushed to the hospital, and when examined, his injuries were fatal and not fixable at all, meaning that there was nothing that doctors or paramedics could do to save his life. He was gone forever is basically what I'm getting at here. That leaves us with, one question now. How did Ed Benge get to this point, where he was in a mental hospital and found dead in his holding cell? Well, that will be closely examined in this video, as well as explained. To start things off, we first need to talk about this guy's upbringing. And well, it's not really known how his life was growing up as a child. What is known, though, is that Benge was born in 1961 in Colorado Springs. Whatever happened to him growing up, whatever he experienced throughout his childhood/early adult life, it didn't seem to affect him negatively. At least until he moved into the apartment building at 502 Pikes Peak Avenue. When he moved into that apartment building, the true cracks in his character were unraveled when he began to behave obnoxiously and loudly in his apartment complex. In the apartment complex, he would frequent a bar called Rumors, which was his main and his only place that he would drink drinks at, alcoholic drinks. And as a bar patron there, he was about as terrible as you can be. As I described him a little bit earlier, he would not pay for his drinks properly, number one. Number two, harass, and he would be inappropriate towards women in the bar, start fights over nothing, break others, as we call them, privacy bubbles, excuse me there, as, they're called, and he would also force others to pay for his drinks that he couldn't even afford at all. Things reached a boiling point on February 21st of 1990, when Benge would take things to the extreme at Rumors, which would end up leading to a mass destruction of property as well as somebody's death. On that day at around 8 p.m., Ed Benge would enter the Rumors bar. The owner of the bar, Victor Ornelas, would report that after 10 p.m., Benge would purchase a $10 pitcher of beer. After he drank the beer, Ornelas would then report that Benge started acting obnoxiously and inappropriately towards customers. He was acting so inappropriately and disruptively in the bar that at 2 p.m., Victor Ornelas had enough of him and decided to throw him out. I quote this: "I'm gonna get your ass back. I'm gonna get your ass back. I'm gonna burn this place down," Benge said, which is what Victor told investigators. That is when Ed Benge then left the bar at 2 a.m. At around 5 a.m. that morning, that would be the last moment that rumors was still intact, as well as the apartment complex that it was attached to. After that, the whole complex, including the bar, burned down due to a mass fire, and so would 34-year-old Randall Marion Pierce, who was a former soldier that moved into this apartment complex 2 weeks before the incident happened, and was a quiet and well-behaved tenant overall, that was just looking to turn his life around after his pretty insane and intense career, I gotta say. The killer would be none other than Ed Benge. He was the one that set the fire in that apartment building because he got angry for being kicked out of Victor Ornelas' bar. As for how he got caught, well, at 10:20 a.m., the next day, he was seen at a bus station at 327S Weber Street. He was about to board the bus, which would board at 11 a.m. However, for obvious reasons, since the authorities were after him because of his arson crime that he committed, they arrested him and took him to jail. At his sentencing, he was originally going to be sentenced for arson and second-degree murder. The justice system, though, ended up throwing him. They ended up throwing him a giant curveball, pretty much, after he was examined by multiple psychiatrists during his trial. The psychiatrists determined that he was not mentally competent to stand trial. So what ultimately ended up happening to him is that he was instead sentenced to stay at the Colorado State Hospital for mentally unwell people. In 1997 and 2004, he would escape the hospital both those times, and even attempted suicide during those times as well. He even was exposed for fabricating a lot of his mental issues, as well as claiming to see monsters when he was sleeping, hearing voices in his head. He admitted to lying about that. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. In September of 2010, as I mentioned before, he was found dead in his cell, and his cause of death was suicide. All of that, my friends, is how he ended up where we are right now, where the guard found him dead in his cell just now, and now he was taken to the hospital. In conclusion, that was the sad and pathetic tale of Edward F. Benge. All throughout his miserable life, he did nothing but F up. Every time he effed up, he would never take any responsibility for it or even try and change it, and he would only make things worse. He was hot-headed, short-tempered, a pathological liar, as well as a murderer. He burned down an entire freaking building because he was mad about being kicked out of a bar that he deserved to be kicked out of. On top of that, the fire that he created ended up killing an innocent man, which is just terrible. Also, while he was in captivity, he lied about his mental illnesses, broke out of the facility that he was being kept in, and he did it multiple times, and he took the easy way out of his life by ending it himself in the end. All I have to say for this guy is that to anyone who has watched this video to this point so far, I want you to know that everything I said about this guy is what you do not want to become. I'm dead serious. I'm not kidding here. This is overall not how to live your life. Everything I just explained, excuse my French there, everything I frickin' just explained in the story today. This is the pathetic way of existing, and I want y'all to just know, in conclusion overall, just know never to become this guy. Just never. Because your legacy will be crap. It's a pathetic way of existing. You'll end up with a terrible legacy once your life is over. Yeah, Edward Benge was ultimately a coward that never took responsibility if he made a mistake in society, and to cope with his problems, he would only make minor situations into extreme problems that would ultimately lead to disaster. So do not ever make any of the mistakes that this guy made, and always take responsibility for your action, guys. If you make a mistake, own up to it, apologize for it if you have to. Just take responsibility, move on from it, and learn from that, and become a better person from there. That's what I've done throughout my life so far, and so far, I've been feeling so much better because of that. And I've also have a better reputation now because I took responsibility for my mistakes I made in the past. Some were way more severe than others, but I cope with that now. I understand. I apologized for it. I basically just took responsibility, owned up to it, and changed from there. And I just can't stress that enough. If you're just down bad in your life right now, own up to it, fix it, become 10 times better than that person. I know you can. I know you guys can become great things, and I just want you to know that. You can become absolutely amazing. You just have to take that step forward if you're not already right now. And if you do that, your life will change for the better. Absolutely. And I can promise you guys on that with my entire life. Anyways, hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe, but I'm really not begging for it. I'm not like most YouTubers. But anyways, yeah, I just want you guys to be entertained by this video. Hopefully you learned a thing or two at the end. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.